In this video, I'll show you some important changes which has happened while adding a web resource for your solution. So I'm in make.powerapps.com and I have created a solution, and within a solution now I'm gonna add a new web resource. So if I go to new, more, and web resource, now as you see over here, this interface has changed a bit differently. So you have an option to copy and paste the code now. So earlier in the modern interface, we have an option to choose a file. So if you have a JS or a HTML or CSS or XML or those kind of file, if you want to upload it, you can go ahead and upload from there, and then it will be then stored in the dataverse. But now we have an option: either we can choose a file or we can copy and paste the code. So if I have a code with me, I can just copy paste the code. So this is one of the JavaScript code which I have written. So I can copy paste the code, and I can then select JS JavaScript, and then I can type in JS hide section, and I can just uh, paste this over here, and then put the display name, and I'll call it as old because I have a similar name over here. So I'll just say display name as old, and then save it. Now once you save that, you should be able to see that in your solution, and then you can see this as a JScript over here. And if you go inside it now, then you should be able to edit that code within the interface as well. Or maybe alternatively, you have an option to select the external JS file and link it with that web resource. So it's not loading now. Let me refresh this again and then click. Yeah, as you see over here, now you have an option to edit the code here. So if you want to add something over here, you can just go ahead and say I want to add an alert over here, put double quotes and semicolon, and then again I can go over here and then save it. So that interface is simplified now. This feature was available in the classic interface, but this was not available in the modern interface. Now this has been enabled in the Power Platform environment for Power Apps. Now there's another option which we can see something new over here. There's something called a view dependency. So if you see that this JavaScript has dependent on any other component, you can click on view dependency, and you can see that whether this JavaScript is dependent on any other dependent column or not. And alternatively, you have an option to add a dependency. So if you think that, hey, this JavaScript needs to be dependent with some other, say this file, you can add that dependency, and I'll just add it over here. And like that, you can add that dependency and click on done, click on save. So this is one major change which has happened within the web resource interface. Now this is not limited to JS. Okay, so in the another solution, I have HTML file. So if I just show you the HTML file, you have an option to edit the HTML file code as well. So you can come over here, and then you can specify. So let me add a paragraph tag, and I will just save this paragraph tag. So similarly for HTML also, you can view the dependency, and you can edit the code inline. So I'll just click on save, and then this is done for HTML. Similarly, this can be done for CSS as well. So I have the sample CSS file over here. I'll come over here and I'll just make some changes. So I want this font size to be of 12 pixels. And watch over here, you do not see any dependency on CSS. So for HTML and JS, you have seen that dependency, but for CSS, you do not see that option to see the dependency. I'll just click on save, and then that's the interface. So pretty much there's been a good update on the Power Apps perspective. Like when you add a solution and when you add a web resource to it, you have an option to select a file, or if you do not have a source file, you can actually go ahead and author that particular CSS or HTML or JavaScript within the interface itself. So that's the new feature. Thanks for watching.